This is your Sleepless God back with What If Midoriya Was Bowser? Part 13. Unlucky 13 is my favorite number. So, last time we left off was the tournament. So, it was a couple of the normal fights like Momo against Mind Control Guy. Mind Control Guy won that round. Kirishima against Metal Guy. Kirishima won. And a couple of other ones. Just watch the last video. It was a little bit long, but watch the last video. You'll get everything down with all the fights. But the major fight that went down was Bowser against Todoroki, and Todoroki was when Bowser walked into the stage. He was trying to he was basically becoming a king, making Princess Peach, still with her broken arm that she got from Bakugo with his fight, taking off his crown to fight Todoroki, showing that he was holding back this entire time as his human form. He started fighting with Todoroki, and that's when he got to the point when he realized Todoroki was only holding back using his ice, that he went back into his human form. After that, they started tossing a little bit, but when Todoroki finally used his flames, he almost burned the stadium to the ground with it, like literally bursting into flames, using as many flames as he possibly can. Bowser finally turned back into his first gear, smashing the ground, almost destroying the entire stadium as we go. The fight lasts a little bit longer. Bowser sucks up the flames around Todoroki and uses it as a master fireball. And then he knows that Todoroki's not going to beat him, so he does a quick punch to his stomach, passing him out. And that's the end of the fight. That's where he lasted off, as the Koopa men put the cape around his shoulders, he put the hood up, so they walked out of the court. As that's truly when we last left off. Let's start the video. When this happened, what was supposed to happen to be the next match was going to be Dark Shadow against Bowser. Now, first things first, Dark Shadow said, "Nah, dog, I'm good," and forfeited the match. Before even the match started, he forfeited the match. The reason why he forfeited the match is a very tactical reason. He didn't want to fucking die. It was a very direct reason. He knew he was going to lose. He knew he was not strong enough to fight Todoroki, especially if it's Todoroki going all out. And showing that Bowser was holding back in some of that fight, showing that he has multiple different forms that are actually stronger, and showing what they could do, Dark Shadow thought of the most tactical decision he possibly is, and it was a tactical retreat. He says, no, I'm not going to fight this one. What do you mean you're not going to fight? I'm done. I'll take my third place. I'll take my third place. He's like, are you going to even try to fight for like second? It's like, no, I'm not fighting for second. I'll take the third. I'll take that third. As Todoroki's now in the infirmary. Hospital. Not hospital, but like he's in the room getting taken care of, and he got second degree burn, like not really, first degree burns, like just like kind of burns around his body, and he started getting the signs of hypothermia, but that's it. Two of his ribs cracked by the punch, but by Bowser, but really truly nothing else really happened to him. Like realization occurred to him that he was holding back a lot. Like he was in the hospital, getting his injuries checked as his like ribs are healing finally, as his body was slowly healing together. I got punched once in that fight. He had many opportunities to punch me again. He decided not to punch me again. I could have been dead right now. Easily. He knows he could be dead. Easily could have been dismissed and killed on the spot by just a couple of his blows, but it seems like Bowser gave him pity. Or what Todoroki thinks, or what Todoroki thought at the first it was pity. The next thing he thought was he thinks he could become better. What he means by this is Todoroki realizes the entire time he wanted to use his fire, his flames. So Todoroki thinks he's trying to make him become better so the next time they fight, it's not just all one-sided. Now, Bowser's in his dressing room right now with Princess Peach. Now, Princess Peach is out. She's sleeping like a log right now, mostly because her injuries are still healing, and most of her body is almost in shock because she can't, like, she's injured to the point where her body can't, like, keep on going right now, like, consciously, as Bowser is already wrapped his jacket around her that is way too big for what her body is, and has already put her on his, like, lap as she sleeps, and, like, holding her up like a baby log, like a baby, literally, like, kind of like a baby as she sleeps, as, like, every else, like, he's not in his, like, actual locker room. He actually took over Bakugo's, because, like, because his Bakugo's locker room is right next to his locker room, so, like, you hear, like, people, like, slamming on his door, like, we want to talk, and we, like, trying to take pictures and all that stuff, as that's why he took Bakugo's locker room, as, like, Bakugo's not here anymore, so he's just gonna take it so the paparazzi doesn't, get him, because he's already a king. He seems like he's more strong than he already is. They're trying to ask him questions, like he can hear the questions trying to get asked, as he knows he can probably teleport away from them, but he doesn't want to wake her up. She's been sleeping for almost 30 minutes now, as he doesn't want to move to even try to wake her up, so he's just sitting there waiting till they all leave, or till everything happens, as he has, like, the television on mute, watching as they finally, like, when they finally get the stage cleaned up, it says that it's time for, the new UA people to get awarded their medals, as that's when he stands up. He says, I guess I have to go now, as she's like, as Princess Peach wakes up and looks at the TV, as he says, oh, is it that time already? It's like, she says, yeah, as she puts her down, as, like, all he hears is the door open as he sees Bakugo enter the room, as he's right now putting Princess Peach with, like, a pillow on her head, his jacket around her, and, like, trying to keep, like, basically keep her sleeping, as Bowser looks at him and says, you two need to get a fucking room. He says, we did. We just stole yours. As it's like Bakugo just like, oh, you bastards. Says, you got 30 minutes to get out there. The award ceremony is happening shortly, so it better should. As, Bowser, in his human form still, starts walking as Bakugo starts walking with him, as he shuts the door, as the paparazzi sees him, and they, like, start taking pictures of him. He says some of them are trying to ask him questions like, hey, is what is that other form? Is that, like, another transformation? Is this your natural form? As a couple of the reporters like, oh, what is your relationship with Princess Peach? Is there any like, love information or anything like that? How is their country affecting with Japan? As he looks at them and says he smiles, as he says, no comment on all of those yet. After the award ceremony, if you can find me, I will answer all of your questions later. as he starts walking out, as Bakugo is starting to follow him, as he says, "Isn't it nice being a royalty?" He says, "Nope. If I could choose on none of this, I would love it." Luckily enough, as he snaps his fingers, he sees like 8 Koopa men as the paparazzi trying to still ask him questions, guard off the area, saying he's not going to ask any more questions here. He's a very businessman. Please get off. Please get off the section. As Bowser looks at him, not Bowser, Baco looks at him and says, "And for Lagoons," he says, "Nope. Loyal men all through and through. No matter what the situation is, I can count on no matter what." As he starts walking, as he finally gets to the war room, as he got his medal from All Might. Got his gold medal. Obviously not freaking out because he's not Baco. He respects his gold medal. As he looks up, as he sees he looks the entire crowd cheering for him, clapping. He sees his brothers in the very corner, just laughing their asses off and just clapping as they, he smiles at them as he looks at the student section, and he sees someone that he probably shouldn't see at that time. He sees Princess Peach out of bed with his jacket over her shoulders, clapping, like clapping on the leg, obviously, not clapping with the broken arm. As he smiles and words something that the camera the camera thought that they caught, but they never did. "You are totally grounded, Missy." As Princess Peach looks at that and smiles, as all of the other girls are looking at her, as she's kind of blushing a little bit, as she's "What's the matter, Miss Princess Peach? Are you catching a cold? You should be as Blast Blast. Oh, hopefully not, because all of her injuries and all that stuff." It's I'm "Oh, no, I'm fine." As Princess Peach smiles at Bowser as the end of the awards ceremony hits. Bowser and Princess Peach and all of her family finally goes home, as Princess Peach takes her grounding. Now, I'm not giving you context clues. I'm just trying to figure that fucking shit out. Oh, you figure that shit out by yourself. I'm not here for that kind of... I'm not explaining sexuality to you fuckers. I know you all took a health class like I did. You shitty fuckers. But no, what they mean by grounding is not what I mean. Not what you think. They're not having sex. Especially because Princess Peach literally has a broken fucking arm. She's literally grounded. She's gonna stay in a room, and Bowser's not gonna leave her side until all of her injuries are healed. Meaning, she's not able to move or leave until all of her injuries are healed. The only reason that Princess Peach smiled at this is because Bowser would never leave her side until every one of those cuts, scrapes, and bruises are healed. With that, though, he will kiss every cut, scrape, and bruise until it's all better. Giving you advice, I don't know. But he and Princess Peach sleep the entire day. Because, isn't there a day off in that period? I believe there's so. If there isn't, there should be. They take one. There is a. I'm gonna say, I don't know if it's for facts, but I'm gonna say it because it's my universe and I don't care that much. There's a day off between when this end of the festival ends and school starts again, and this is where Blast Boys, or what's his name? I always forget his name because he's kind of annoying, but uh, Ida, Ida, yeah, Ida gets this phone call from his mom saying that Stain has hurt his brother, and he rushes to the hospital, seeing that his brother is barely alive. And if he can go and take a full recovery, he will be paralyzed completely. Ida is pissed, to say the least. As Bakugo is actually the one that confronts him. The first day at school, Bakugo realizes he's something different. And this is where they name their this is where they start naming themselves. So now we're gonna go throughout the names of all the people. So okay, first things first. Most of the other names stay the same, except Bakugo's. His now new name is called Ground Zero. I know if you watch my other series, you know what I took that from. It's a cool name. I like that name. It's good for explosion rings. But his now name, because he's trying to get more respectful, especially because he lost. He understands how to lose now, and he's not like a arrogant motherfucker who's going to keep on yelling. He understands he has to be appropriate because he's going to have to deal with kids. So he calls himself Ground Zero because of his explosion ability and how cool it can be. So, but Bakugo's name is Ground Zero. Ida still doesn't name himself. Names him his own name. But Bowser and Princess Peach. Now Bowser is thinking like, what should I name myself? Like I have like so many nicknames. I have Bowser. I can name myself my actual name. That could be my nickname as well. I'd be fine with that. But I can also call myself King. I can also nickname myself like a bunch of other names. Like we have like he has like so many names he can nickname himself. But Princess Peach goes up and nicknames herself Princess Peach. Like straight up, like this is my name, and it works. And like even like Midnight was like, yeah, that's perfect. That works perfect. As Bowser just says, fuck it. As he put down King Bowser. Literally, just King Bowser. As he goes up and puts down King Bowser. It's like, that works as well. He's a king. His name is Bowser. It works. As, you know, Midnight realizes they have that connection between themselves and realizes that their deaths might be a little bit closer than the start of the year. But that's when Ida walks out and kind of, you know, like showing that he's like rageful. That's where Bakugo stops him and says, I don't know what you're dealing with, fucking idiot. I don't care as much as you think. I do care about one thing. I do not want any of these classmates to die on my hands. The blood that could drain is awful. And I'm knowing from experience how much hatred and rage about yourself can cause more damage than anything else. So I'm telling you now, let it go. As Ida looks at him and says, fuck off, bitch. As Bakugo's gonna go for an explosion, but he sees in his eyes that sadness and that rage that he had when he was a kid. Every time he looked in the mirror, he saw it. As Bakugo grits his teeth, takes a deep breath, and says, you can call me a bitch all you want. It doesn't change the fact that you're fucking doing something you probably shouldn't. And you're pushing yourself to an absolute form that I know you're not going to want to be. Ida looks at him and just says, it's not your problem. As all the school, after that situation with Ida, we go to another one with him and All Might, Bowser and All Might, as All Might asks, sorry, Bowser to take his quirk. As this is where we're going to leave it off here. I hope you guys liked the video. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.